It's just a quick update. Government takes notice of a statement by the NDC dated May 15, 2019, in which statement the NDC says, and I want to quote, that the NDC is alarmed by government's decision to authorize such importation at a time when the country is grappling with the threat of terrorism on our northern frontier, pervasive vigilantism, and unmitigated armed robberies across the length and breadth of the country. And as if this is not fearful enough, there are further reports emerging of at least 9 more containers full of weapons apparently owned by the same person being cleared at the port. The NDC goes on to say in its statement that they admonish the government of President Akufo-Addo to track the sale and purchase of the weapons in question and to ensure that the weapons do not end up in the hands of bandits, hoodlums, and vigilantes. The government of Ghana would like to also make some information available to the general public. The permit under which these arms were imported was signed by the Honorable James Agalga, Member of Parliament, Deputy Minister for the Interior, on January 5th, 2017. So this permit we are talking about, which allowed these persons to import this cache of arms legally into the country, was issued on the 5th of January 2017 under the signature of the Honorable James Agalga. I have a copy of it here. I'll give a copy to you afterwards. And we find it strange that the very persons who issued the permit for the importation of these arms will today turn around and say that the Akufo-Addo administration has issued permits and therefore has to take the security situation of this country a lot more seriously than it is doing now. Where all of these points of alarm that they raise in this statement, all of these points of alarm that they raise, were they not known to them at the time that they were signing this permit? At the time that they were issuing this permit, all of these points of alarm, were they not known to them? And was the security of the state, which they are talking about today, non-existent at the time when they were issuing this permit? You can't appropriate and reprobate. You can't do this. And then when a new administration rather comes in and is the one that takes the necessary efforts to secure the consignment and ensure that it's kept in a place and not necessarily in the hands of persons with doubtful character, then you turn around issuing statements as though something untoward has happened. So the first point we want to make is that indeed the permit that was issued by the NDC administration. The second point is that it's curious that after the election of 2016, 2 days to the handing over on the 5th of January, at a time of the transition when we had agreed that all major transactions of this nature had to be referred to both sides of the transition team, they issued a permit, and I want to read to you. Permission is granted to YADCO to import the underlisted explosives and accessories for the use of their clients who are all engaged in mining and quarry sectors. 20,000 cases of 500 pieces of shotgun cartridges, 4,000 pieces of hunting shotguns, 500 boxes of percussion caps. 2 days to the transition. And it's curious because at that time we had a conversation about the fact that all major transactions needed to be referred to both sides. And this was issued on the blind side of everybody. Nonetheless, as the consignment arrived into the jurisdiction, in accordance with the standard practice, the consignment was duly inspected and has been delivered at a designated storage area. And state security agencies are taking the necessary steps to ensure that the consignment does not get into the hands of unauthorized persons. When they are done with their initial necessary assessments, any further information that we have on this will make available to the Ghanaian people. But for us, it is instructive to note that this permit under which this importation was done was issued by the NDC administration under the signature of the Honorable James Agalga 2 days to the handing over on the blind side of everybody. And the new administration has ensured that the consignment is inspected, received, kept at the designated storage area, and does not get into the hands of unauthorized persons. And any further information that we find following our immediate inquiries will be made available to the Ghanaian public.